Coming up in this episode, I go for an unplanned adventure on the Ridgeway. So, how about this? Bit of unplanned adventure. Yeah, it's perhaps not the best day for it, but hey, this is going to be fun, isn't it? Not entirely sure where I'm going. I've done it before, but... Well, I came up here to pick my daughter up from the top of the Ridgeway. She's been walking along, and realised we didn't have enough seats in the car to give everyone a lift home. So I said, well, why don't I run back? Unplanned. So how about this? Bit of unplanned adventure. So in this run, I started from Byway Lane on the Ridgeway, which is where the Ridgeway crosses the A34, and I've run down the restricted byways and then the 544 cycle path into the back of Didcot, and I'm going to finish up at Starbucks and have something sweet to put me back up at the end. But what I'll do is I'll post some alternatives for you, either if you fancy a bike ride with the kids from Didcot, or if you fancy a run like the one I've done, or maybe even a circular run starting out at either end. And I'll have a study of the map when I get back and think of all the different places I've been around here. I'll just give you a few suggestions if you're looking for inspiration. Here we are, so very top of the Ridgeway on a super windy day, and it's very cold as well. It's March, it's about, I don't know, 6 degrees, so that's centigrade. Anyway, so what we're going to do is I'm going to try and run along the old railway, which is a cycle track that goes from Didcot to Wantage, and I'm going to try and find that. It's somewhere in the distance down there, towards the Whitnham clumps, and you can see Didcot just in the background over there where the chimneys are. Maybe not able to pick that out because it's quite hazy. So yeah, we're gonna go down the Ridgeway, which is just down here. We're at the top, we're at the Byway Lane car park, which is a brilliant place to park up and start. You can just see there's loads of parking and stuff here. It's a nice spot. It's really exposed though. So yeah, it's perhaps not the best day for it, but hey, this is going to be fun, isn't it? Find our way back. Might see me looking at the phone a little bit because I'm not entirely sure where I'm going. I've done it before, but not for a few years. So anyway, with that, we better get going. One of the things that I love about the Ridgeway is it kind of doesn't matter when you come up here. There's always people up here enjoying it, and you always get to see loads of different stuff. Because it's a restricted byway, you can come across horses, mountain bikers, four-wheel drives at the right time of year or wrong time of year, depending on your view. Yeah, there's lots of stuff going on up here. This is a bit where the signposts take you down underneath the A34, so you can see we're coming down this gravel trail here. So hopefully I'm going the right direction. If I die tonight, I'll die happy. This is quite cool, look. Some mural, Ilsley remote amid the Berkshire Downs, claims 3 distinctions are her sister towns, far famed for sheep and wool, not for spinners, for sportsmen, doctors, publicans and sinners. I've never seen that before. It's in this tunnel here. I've only ever come through here actually on a bike, and I go so fast. I never even noticed that little lovely little ditty, I suppose you'd call it, and the lovely mural there. And then we pop out the other side. Yeah, and then we're going to pick up a path down. I think the path goes down here, and it goes down towards Blueberry. I recall a different time coming down here. You can see loads of mountain bike tracks. And I recall, last time I came down here, a couple of years or so ago, and I came down in the summer, and this track here down to Blueberry was a really good piece of single track downhill on the mountain bike. So yeah, it's not so great now, and would certainly discourage you coming down here on a bike really, because it messes up the trail for everyone. But yeah, I'll certainly come back here. It's reminded me it was quite cool. I mean, you can see one of the downsides here of the Ridgeway, just showing on the camera, is that some bits of it are quite clayey, and they get really rutted up by the horses and the mountain bikes and the motocross bikes and everything, which is why it's sometimes a bit tricky actually this time of year. But then you get other bits where you can see here, and it goes into flint, and that's great because it doesn't get eroded away, but it can get really slippy. So if it's wet, I just kind of warn you, if you're going to try this one, just to watch out. It's a little bit slippy at times. Yeah, see what I mean? So you get from lovely chalky bits to bog and mud. And so we're just coming to a little opening. I'm just gonna check my old friend Google and just see which way she reckons I'm gonna go here. So yeah, it's recommending on foot that I go. It's actually saying towards the left here, and then coming across some of these farmlands we see in the distance. So we'll be obedient, we'll follow Google and see how we get on. So I'm already way too hot because I was kind of stood on the top there and it was freezing, and I've run down and I'm already cooking. So I'm just going to stop, take a few layers off. You can see here there's a Byway sign, and that's what you see all over the place here. And some of them are, you know, a little bit of just a track or a tiny little bit of single tracks, all sorts of stuff. And then other bits are like, you know, virtually roads where the farm vehicles and all that kind of stuff, you know, come across this part. And actually what's great about the Ridgeway around here, if you visit up at the Bury Lane car park, is there's absolutely tons of these tracks. And if you're with kids or families and stuff, there's plenty of safe options and wide options for just kind of first kind of exploration on a mountain bike and kind of stuff like that. And then there's some more decent stuff as well if you're a bit more adventurous. So we're going to just go down this pretty big track you can see here, and then that's the way we're going back in towards the Blueberry direction. So here we're coming across, well, you can see it looks like an old railway bridge, and I kind of think if you look down the ditch in that direction, which is flooded at the moment, I think that's kind of what it is. And we're going to pick that up, and at some point that's going to become a cycle track that we're going to run along ourselves. So keep on going down here. And as often the way with a lot of the land around here, it's quite agricultural, maybe utilitarian kind of, almost in a way. There's a recycling centre there, you know, kind of right on the side of a national trail. So you kind of just have to take it as it comes. People work the land still around here. It's used for training racehorses and grazing of sheep and cattle and pigs. You see a lot of those further along the Ridgeway. And I suppose it's that kind of place really. It's not like the Chilterns further along, where it's all very pretty woodland and, you know, all kind of feels quite untouched. Around here it feels very much like you're in a working place. And I suppose that's one of the things, if you don't mind it, you'll see stuff that's kind of interesting in the farmyards and the like. And then when you get to this little farmland here, you veer to the left and you come straight through the farmyard. Again, it's restricted byway, it's all cool. I remember I haven't done this again for a while. I did it last time in the other direction, but it all looks kind of vaguely familiar. You see, agricultural, as I said, that's what this place is. And then as you get to this lovely big tree here, you turn around to the right, and we're heading in this direction. Afternoon. So at the bottom of this, what I kind of describe as the bridle trail, but I don't know if it is one. We'll find out later when we look at the map. You get to the village of Upton. And Upton's a place where you can join the cycle track that goes all the way into Didcot. And it's also got quite a nice pub here. The George and the Dragon. Pick up a sign for that. It's literally just as you pop out of the bottom. But what we'll do is we'll cross the road, we'll dive down following this little sign here, and then we'll try and look for the cycle trail. This is the sort of village hall I think that's coming alongside, and this is the site of a really good mountain bike event called Upton No Good, which is on in the middle of the summer. And you get absolutely hundreds of mountain bikers descending on the Ridgeway, from kind of tiny kids on either bikes all the way up to the hardcore. But yeah, really good bands and music and beer. And then here, just pause for a second. Didcot, 2.5 miles down there towards the railway. Hi. And you can see a few adventure bikes. I think that last one looked like a single speed fixie type thing, didn't it? Impressive if he's getting up on the Ridgeway in that, but I know a lot of guys like it because there's less to clean off at the end of the ride. This guy's looking pretty stuck, isn't he? Well, I just stopped there trying to give that guy a hand out, but that car's way heavier than I can do for pushing. This is where we pick up the cycle path, and yeah, it's pretty nice, isn't it? You get a view of that. There's a rabbit down there, but I can't see it. It's just too disguised. But this is a great path. I mean, I'll include a link to this just as a cycle option for families and stuff with kids, because it's. I spent a fair few pounds on this when I did this. I think it was around the time of the Millennium, and hey. It's perfect if you want to get young kids confident on the bike because it's pretty straight. It's a decent width and it's pretty flat. So, and actually you get quite a nice view from up here, as you can see. That's where we came down from, up there. Give you an idea of it. And there's Blueberry Hill over in the background. And much as I love cycling, and I love cycle paths, and I wish there was a lot more of them, doesn't it feel like a crying shame this is no longer a railway? Which is, you know, I think it'd be a tough choice if you said to me, cycle path to Wantage or have the railway back. I think the railway would probably, yeah, benefit a lot more people. But then I suppose I question, there's really much demand for it these days, but it does feel like a shame. So we've been past East Hagbourne. Well, I suppose it's technically at the back here is East Hagbourne. And we're coming into Didcot here. And I suppose, you know, what's Didcot famous for these days? Nothing. I mean, it's got a pretty bad rep. But I can tell you one thing about Didcot that gets a big thumbs up from me, which is it's got a train station. And from that train station, you can go up and down the Ridgeway because you can get it down to Cholsey and Goring and Pambourne. And so if you want, you can jump on the train and get back home again. I suppose the other thing I'd say about it, as this run is showing, it's not very far straight up the Ridgeway if you just want to do there and back and explore. And use it as a start and end point. And it's 40 odd minutes from Paddington, London, and easy also to connect down to Swindon and places. So it really is a great starting point for a Ridgeway adventure. And then we keep following these 544 signs, and then this is now coming into the back of Didcot itself. There's a little bit of woodland unexplored down there. Never been in there. Looks like you could ride your bike around it, doesn't it? I suppose it's not big enough, but I reckon the kids would find it enough. Okay, so I can see it's the Didcot Millennium wood, and it's been planted up with all different kinds of trees to celebrate the Millennium. And that's quite peaceful and nice, isn't it? Let's keep going. And then as you come off the bottom of the cycle path, you can see it's Upton and Wantage. See, 10.5 miles to Wantage if you want to go all the way. And if you're on a bike, you'll cross over the road here straight on. Because I'm on foot, I can go left down the footpath. But I'm coming in through the back of the houses. And for me, this is the most direct route to Starbucks. So this is the way I'm going.